two nations, locked in a terrestrial struggle, looked to the heavens with one singular audacious dream to conquer the unknown. But this race for space, this cosmic competition, wasn't just about rockets and satellites. It was about ideology, about power, and about proving who would ultimately rule the future. Our story begins in the smoldering aftermath of World War II. The globe, once united against a common enemy, was now fractured, splitting into two opposing spheres of influence. On one side, the United States championing democracy and capitalism. On the other, the Soviet Union hoisting the banner of communism. This wasn't a war fought with armies clashing on battlefields, but a Cold War tense ideological standoff. Each superpower was desperate to showcase the superiority of its system, to prove to the watching world that their way of life was the path to the future. This rivalry simmered in proxy wars, espionage, and a terrifying nuclear arms race. But the ultimate stage, the final frontier where this rivalry would play out for all to see, was just beyond our atmosphere. Then, on October 4th, 1957, a sound that would change the world echoed from the silence of space. A tiny, persistent beeping. It was Sputnik 1, the first ever artificial satellite. A gleaming metallic sphere launched into orbit by the USSR for the Soviet Union. It was a monumental triumph, a testament to their scientific prowess. For America, it was a profound shock, a Sputnik crisis. The beeping sound was a wake-up call that they were falling behind. The Soviets had claimed the first victory. The race had officially and dramatically begun. America's response was swift and decisive. In 1958, a new agency was born from the urgency of the moment: NASA. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Its mission was clear: to lead America's charge into space. The nation's finest mind scientists, engineers, and pilots were gathered. The era of the astronaut had dawned. With Project Mercury, the goal was simply to put a man into orbit. Then came Project Gemini, pushing the boundaries further, mastering rendezvous and spacewalks. Each mission was a step, each launch a gamble, pushing human and technological limits to their absolute breaking point. The United States was catching up, and fast. But the Soviets were not standing still. The battle for space supremacy was heating up into a frantic, back-and-forth contest. Then, in 1961, the USSR delivered another stunning blow. Cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human to journey into outer space and orbit the Earth. His famous declaration, "Poyakali, let's go," resonated around the globe. The Soviets had taken the lead once again, placing the first man in space. America needed a response, something so bold, so ambitious, it would seem impossible. And it came from the highest office. President John F. Kennedy stood before the nation and declared a goal that would define the decade, not just to match the Soviets, but to leapfrog them entirely. "We choose to go to the moon in this decade," he announced, "and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." The ultimate finish line had been drawn. What followed was one of the most monumental undertakings in human history, the Apollo program. Billions of dollars, the efforts of over 400,000 people, and a series of missions, each building on the last. There were triumphs and terrible tragedies, but the focus never wavered. Finally, on July 20th, 1969, the world held its breath. Hundreds of millions of people gathered around their televisions, their eyes fixed on a grainy, black-and-white image transmitted from 240,000 miles away. They watched as Neil Armstrong descended the ladder of the Eagle lunar module and took mankind's first ever step onto the surface of the moon. His words, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind," became immortal. The world witnessed history being made. By planting the American flag on the lunar surface, the USA had unequivocally claimed victory in the space race. But the legacy of this incredible competition extends far beyond a flag on the moon. What began as a Cold War rivalry inadvertently gifted humanity with technologies that define our modern world. The satellites that now power our GPS and communications. The advancements in computing, materials science, and medical technology, many have their roots in the race to space. It gave us the International Space Station, a symbol of the very collaboration that once seemed impossible. This great adventure, born from conflict, expanded our understanding of the universe and our place within it. It transformed our perspective, showing us our own planet as a fragile, beautiful blue marble floating in the vastness of space. What began as a bitter rivalry to prove dominance ultimately became humanity's greatest shared adventure. From the tension of the Cold War to the tranquility of seeing Earth from orbit, the space race proved once and for all that the sky was never the limit. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of human ambition and discovery.